Well, now, Gordon Brown says that he should have done more to regulate the banking industry when he was finance minister. He's making a case for curbing bank bonuses if re-elected, but all of this may do very little to address the cause of the credit crunch, at least. That's the take of my next guest, Chris Roebuck. He is Professor-elect at Case Business School. Of course, Gordon Brown was the Chancellor of the Exchequer, not the Finance Minister. Let's begin by talking a little bit about this bonus culture. We are seeing everybody, all the chancellors, the would-be chancellors in their debate a few weeks ago, jumping on this bandwagon to talk about how much they want to destroy bankers' bonuses and change it all. They're really tinkering at the edges. This has nothing to do with systematic reform of the banking sector, is it?
You're absolutely right. The core issue is we need to make the global financial system much more stable than it was. What's happening here is that they're moving into the world of the relationship between bankers, the public and politicians. Now, getting the messages across about how you make the global financial system more stable is much, much more difficult than it is to actually say, look, the bankers caused it all, let's give them a bashing. And that gets votes.
So this really is blatant electioneering, effectively, isn't it? I mean, we're seeing each one of the three parties coming up with various ideas to curb bonuses. Will they actually come into fruition? How important is it? I mean, a bit of electioneering never hurt anyone, did it?
Yes, there is some electioneering. To be honest, there is an underplaying theme here that they are also talking about doing something in line with Basel, G20, etc. But the thing that's hitting the headlines is the bankers' bonuses. And it's probably fair to say that if we look at the three parties in UK, what's happening is they are saying to themselves, how can we get the votes? And to be honest, if you look at the news that we have just seen from New York, Obama is in the position where he's having midterms and he wants to get something done about this problem before the midterms. So the politicians are saying the public is unhappy, we need to do something, and what can we do as fast as possible? So they're all, to a degree, scrabbling around for an option.
Of course. Now, it can't be forgotten that 1 in 4 revenue pounds in this country comes from the financial sector. Some of the parties talking about actually a separate tax, an extra tax on banks to generate even more money. Without a strong financial sector, that much-needed revenue doesn't come in. So they're banking, if you like, excuse the pun, that people won't leave the UK. Do you think that's a fair assumption?
To some degree, yes, because obviously from the perspective of the banks, the bigger the tax, the bigger the amount of money that's taken from them, it then becomes a purely commercial decision as to whether it's viable to stay or viable to go somewhere else. Yes, maybe in the case of hedge funds, where you have a small organisation, it's viable to go. But I don't think many major banks are going to completely move their trading rooms from London somewhere else. And also think about the individuals. If your employer said to you, we're leaving London, we want you to take your wife and your children, get them out of school and take them to Singapore or somewhere else, how many people would happily say yes?
Of course, the corollary of that, of course, is that the highly paid front room staff will go, the backroom staff won't go to Singapore, they'll simply be unemployed in the UK. That's a danger. OK, thank you very much indeed.